Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this tutorial I'll be showing you how to create this zombified unicorn cake. I have an 8-inch cake board and applying some vanilla buttercream to stick my 6-inch cake on top and filling that in with my spatula. The recipe is in the description box below or a link to the video with the recipe. And I'm stacking all of my cake layers. I've used 2 cakes in total. And right now I'm just creating the crumb coat. So this is a thin layer of buttercream that goes around the cake to trap in any crumbs. I've got my acrylic scraper here going around the cake to smooth it down. And then with my spatula I'll bring that lip of frosting to the center of the cake and just neaten up the cake. Once you're happy with the finish, you can pop that into the freezer for 10 minutes to set. After 10 minutes, you can apply the final layer of frosting. This is a much thicker layer that goes around the cake and it will be under our fondant. I like to start at the top, keep my spatula nice and level as I rotate the cake, and then I add onto the side. Again, with my acrylic scraper, I'm going around the cake and smoothing that down. I find that going around quickly helps to move the buttercream into the spaces that are missing, and then going around slowly gives you a nice, clean, crisp finish. Again, bring that lip of frosting to the center, and then popping that into the freezer for 10 minutes or into your fridge for half an hour. In the meantime, I'll prepare my fondant. This is white fondant. I like to use the Bakels brand. With some icing sugar to make sure it doesn't stick to my counter, I'm rolling it out to about 2.5 mils in thickness. Then drape it over your cake, push out any air at the very top, secure the top edge, and then to apply it onto your cake, just undo those pleats and press down, massaging it onto your cake to make sure that it sticks. With my fondant smoother going around the very base to make sure it all stuck, and then with a small spatula, cut off the excess. And then just clear it up. I like to rotate my smoothers together and kind of clap them at the very top to create a sharp edge. Then make sure it's all smooth along the top and the sides as well. Now to create the eyeball for our unicorn cake, I have a Russian piping tip. You can use a circle cutter instead or a large piping tip and just kind of gouge out that eyepiece. Remove the fondant and make a bit of a cave in there for the eyeball. Then I'm cutting off a section so I can peel it back to reveal some flesh. I'm adding fleshy bits on both ends and also at the very top of the eye as well. And then just peel it back. I'm removing the buttercream from the section that I've just opened up to allow us to create some space for our fondant decorations. Since I've revealed a fair bit of cake here, I'm going to go in again with a bit of a crumb coat and just seal that all off. Do the same for your mouthpiece. You can make this as big or as small as you like. I kind of went all the way up, or all the way around I should say. Peel off the opening and then again just making some room for your fondant. So scraping that back down and of course creating your fleshy bits. I decided to add some onto the top as well because I felt it was smiling and it really shouldn't be smiling. So just make a bit of flesh at the top too. This is fondant that I've colored red and I'm just kind of sticking it right in. I didn't cut it pre-hand, I just sort of mushed it between my hands until it was more or less the same shape as the hole that I made. And then I just pressed it in. So you can see it's not neat at all. In fact, the less neat it looks, more realistic it looks too. I press it into your space and then I've used a cone tool just to create some texture, so it looks a little bit more realistic, kind of like a muscular muscle fibers. To create the eyeball, I have some white fondant and I'm shaping it round at the top and then the base will be nice and flat. I'm using piping gel to stick the eyeball onto my cake, only because water might not be enough. It is a pretty heavy piece of fondant, so I want a stronger edible glue for this. Here I'm adding little, I guess, sausages of fondant in the same color red and just creating those indents. They're like muscle tendons connected to the eye, or at least that's what I was going for. Here is some blue fondant, sticking it on with a bit of water to create the iris, and then the pupil as well. For my teeth, I have some white fondant and I'm squaring it off between my fingers. I want the top to be thick and the base to have a bit of a thinner texture to it, so I'm just pinching at the bottom to make it look like teeth. Glue those on with a little bit of water into the mouth area, and you can also cut off some excess so that they all fit in snug. I'm also adding some muscle tendons into here as well, and creating a bit of texture both on the muscles and on the teeth as well. With some red gel food colour, I'm adding some Cake Decorators Rose Spirit. If you can't use that, you could try to use lemon juice, lemon extract or vinegar as well to create a paint. And now I'm just painting in my fleshy bits with blood. I'm going around the edges as well, not just on the fleshy bits, just to make it look like it's a fresh wound. And don't forget your muscle tendons as well to make them look a bit more realistic. I've gone in and I've added some veining to my eyeball too. And then just to make him look a bit more aged, like he's been, I guess, in the dirt for a while, I've gone in with some black paint, edible paint. This is gel food colour watered down with alcohol as well. And then I'm just taking some red from that fleshy bits and popping it in as well onto the black paint. To create his left eye, I've got some black fondant rolled out to about 2 millimeters in thickness, and I'm cutting out a long rectangular strip. I'm folding it in so it's a bit of a semicircle, and then I've cut out little rectangles as well for the eyelashes. Glue that to your cake with a bit of water. And now we can start decorating his mane. So I have some blue and yellow buttercream in a bag. I just piped half blue buttercream into one side of the bag and half yellow into the other side so it comes out equal. And piping little rosettes using a 1M tip. On the other side, I've got grey buttercream and just filling in the spaces. Go along the back diagonally so his mane reaches the front of the cake so you can see it from the front. Now to create his ears, I have a heart cutter, cutting out pretty thick cut fondant, gluing the base together and with a skewer inserted at the back of the heart to create his ears. I'm painting in the inside with alcohol mixed with gold luster dust. Here are two fondant carrots here in gold gel food colour, with the gold gel food colour, holding them together and twisting them to create the mane. Nope, to create the unicorn horn. Cut it down to size and press the skewer into one end, reaching as far as you can to the top without damaging the horn. I like to use scissors to press my skewers into the cake. It's just a lot less messy. Paint in your unicorn horn with the same alcohol and luster dust mixture. I like to use creative cake decorating in champagne gold for the luster dust. Press it into the mane and you're done. that's how you make a zombie unicorn cake. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video tutorial and give it a go. A lot easier than it looks and a lot of fun as well. You can make it as gory as you like, maybe add 2 eyeballs instead, that would be kind of cool. And that's the tutorial for this Tuesday. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. We upload a new video every Tuesday. Thanks again, and I'll catch you next week.